to understand the lie, we have to understand the context window. Your code base might be hundreds of thousands of lines long, but the AI only sees a tiny fraction of it at any given moment. Imagine trying to write a sequel to a book while only being allowed to read the last 3 pages and a random summary of chapter 1. When you ask your Copilot for a suggestion, it uses a process called Retrieval Augmented Generation. It looks at your cursor, finds relevant code snippets across your project using vector embeddings, and stuffs them into the prompt. But here's the catch: those embeddings are often cached or processed in a way that doesn't account for the refactor you did 5 minutes ago in a different file. The AI suggests a deprecated API because that API is still prominent in its indexed memory. It's not just a hallucination, it's a temporal mismatch. It's providing a solution for a version of your project that no longer exists. This creates a dangerous, uncanny valley of productivity. You save 5 minutes on typing, but you spend 20 minutes debugging a runtime error caused by a parameter that was removed 3 commits ago. The AI is confident because, in its narrow view of the world, it is correct, but its world is out of sync with yours. We often mistake pattern matching for logical reasoning. When you see your Copilot perfectly implement a Fibonacci sequence or a React hook, you assume it understands the underlying logic. It doesn't. It understands the statistical probability of what comes next. This becomes a massive problem when your logic requires cross-file consistency. If you change a data schema in your backend, the AI working on your front end might still suggest the old fields because those fields have a higher semantic similarity to the current UI code. The RAG system prioritizes what looks similar, not what is logically required. This is why AI struggles with breaking changes. It's optimized for the status quo of your codebase. It's a mirror, not a visionary. If your codebase has technical debt, the AI will enthusiastically help you write more of it. It learns your bad habits and reflects them back to you with terrifying speed. We are essentially giving a high-speed megaphone to our own architectural inconsistencies. The lie isn't a bug, it's a feature of how transformer models work. They are built to please the prompt, not to verify the truth of the system. Understanding this shift from tool that understands to engine that predicts is the first step in reclaiming your role as the actual architect. There is a hidden tax on AI-assisted development, the cognitive load of verification. When you write code yourself, you build a mental model of every line. You know why that if statement is there because you struggled through the logic to place it. But when the AI generates 20 lines in a second, you switch from creator mode to reviewer mode. And humans are notoriously bad at reviewing code that looks mostly correct. This is the bystander effect of software engineering. Because the AI wrote it, we subconsciously assume it has a baseline of validity. We skim, we miss the off by one error, we miss the subtle security vulnerability. This creates a paradox: the faster we generate code, the slower we move in the long run. The bugs introduced by AI are often more slippery than human ones. They don't look like typos, they look like valid logic that just happens to be slightly wrong for the specific edge case you're handling. Over time, this erodes the developer's intuition. If you rely on the Copilot to tell you what's possible, you stop exploring the documentation yourself. You stop learning the nuances of the library. You become a manager of a very fast, very productive, but ultimately unreliable junior developer who never sleeps and never learns from their mistakes. The biggest lie your Copilot tells is that local optimization is the same as global health. It can suggest the best way to sort an array in line 42, but it has no idea if that array should even exist in your architecture. AI is incredibly good at microcode and incredibly bad at macrosystem design. It will help you write a beautiful service layer for a feature that should have been a simple database query. It pushes you toward verbosity because verbosity is easier to predict. This leads to what I call code bloat by autocomplete, because it's so easy to generate boilerplate, we stop looking for abstractions that eliminate it. We start building systems that are 10 times larger than they need to be, simply because the resistance to writing code has dropped to zero. But the cost of maintaining that code isn't zero. Every line of AI generated code is a line you eventually have to own, test, and debug. The AI is a liar because it promises speed today while hiding the invoice for tomorrow. It ignores the rule of least power. It will always suggest the most common way to solve a problem, which is rarely the most elegant or performant way for your specific constraints. It lacks the context of your business goals, your team's expertise, and your long-term maintenance budget. So, do we turn it off? No, but we change how we work. The future of engineering isn't AI driven, it's AI verified. First, treat every suggestion as a hypothesis, not a solution. Use diff-based thinking, don't just accept the code. Ask yourself why it chose that specific implementation. Second, lean into test-driven development. If the AI writes the code, you must write the tests manually. Tests are the only source of truth that can't be hallucinated away. Third, force your context. Tools like Cursor allow you to explicitly mention files. Don't let the red system guess. Tell it exactly which schemas and documentation to look at. You are the conductor, and the AI is just a very fast instrument. It doesn't know the symphony, it only knows the notes. Your value as an engineer is shifting from how to write to what to build and how to verify. Stop letting your Copilot lie to you. Start holding it accountable. The magic isn't in the autocomplete, the magic is in your ability to see through it. Your Copilot is a liar. But once you know that, you can finally start using it to find the truth.